Hello, and welcome back as Jo Brand waltzes her way through Advent like a Victorian debutante through Buckingham Palace. In Perfidious, Pete plays XCOM: The Long War 2. And, you know, I'm not gonna mention the two young women who died in the workhouse while sewing their fingers to the bone to make the dress that Jo wore as she danced through that Advent prison last episode, as invisible as a snowflake in a blizzard, but they did die. Still, their sacrifice was for the greater good, I feel, in so much that, in all likelihood, it earned us the right to bring home three faceless who are just gonna sit around, eat our food, and rob us blind for the next 10 to 12 months. Before someone down in the accounting department finally notices that 95% of our income is being siphoned into an offshore account in the name of Raymond Gonzalo somewhere in the Cayman Islands. Oh good, iron skin. Damage reduction against melee attacks. Okay, for robots, well, it's not like we're melee attacking robots anyway, so I guess long term that's not a terrible thing. Additionally, long term, I suppose the 95% of our income going to Raymondo down in the Caymans is probably going to put Jo Brand's debutante status in question as well. I mean, we're going to have a hard time paying the workhouse slave driver guy to work young women to death sewing elaborate gowns for Jo Brand when we got no money to pay for said elaborate gowns. It's kind of like a circle of life thing. We work them to death, and then we can't afford to pay to work them to death, and then Jo Brand winds up in the workhouse, herself being worked to death to make a ball gown for someone now more wealthy than she is. It's the circle of life that destroys us all. Unruly civilians. Okay, new item available, Arc Blade. I am very interested in getting ourselves an Arc Blade. We also got the advanced Arc Thrower, which is likewise intriguing. Yes, we know what an Arc Thrower does, Arc Blade. The question we have about the Arc Thrower and Arc Blade here is, how many engineers does it take to actually do those research? Because we have fucking two, and no matter what we do, we can't seem to get our hands on an extra one. Faceless Autopsy, Berserker Autopsy, Shield Bearer Autopsy, Advent Robotics is interesting. Still 25 days for mag weapons. They really want me to do psionics, and you know what? I really don't want to do it because I don't want to waste the supplies. I would also, if some of this stuff is going to take supplies, could you have the supplies display up here for me so that I know how many of that I have? Not just that I have a minimum of the number required to do this mission. That would be nice. Thank you. This just takes three. You know what? Yeah, let's do Advent Robotics. Let's see what we can get from this. A number of applications stemming from this. Why do I assume that Dr. Tigan's applications that he foresees stemming from Advent Robotics involve some kind of... I mean, he's going to build a fuckbot, right? That's what Dr. Tigan is working on. And I'm not judging Dr. Tigan. You know what? I'm actually on board for once with your particular brand of kinkery. I think a fuckbot would be great. Go ahead and build as many as you want. Alright, Dave Insomniac Cattell has now mastered the art of low profile. So what else can we get you? Locked On, that'd be real good for Chain Shot. Return Fire is straight up garbage. Ghostwalker is intriguing, although I don't think we want to spend 8 days training Ghostwalker on a gunner. That doesn't necessarily seem like the best investment strategy. Let's get somebody else in the AWC and see what we can get him. So, who was next on our list? Roseanne, what do you got? Nothing we need to worry about. Okay, well, we'll just take a pass on that. How about you, David Mitchell? You've been on a lot of missions. Ever-Vigilant's pretty good. It's very... Actually, Ever-Vigilant is very good for a Grenadier. So is Shredder. I like both of those options, but I don't think we necessarily want to go with one now. Let's see what Chris Rock's got. You know, Damn Good Ground is relatively solid for a Ranger. Quick Draw's not good. Lone Wolf. Okay, I could be tempted to maybe give him to Frosty Rock a little bit of Damn Good Ground. Pescatelli, what do you got? Ever-Vigilant is also, okay. And you get the same thing working as Dave Attell. It's a pretty solid little combo. Rita Rudner, how about you? No, I'm not, I'm not really intrigued by what Rita Rodner's got on the table there. As a technical, though, again, the ability to go on Overwatch after using both of her moves would be useful. That's still a pretty good ability. How about Jo Brand? Can we make her more amazing? I would love to get Guardian on somebody who was not a Shinobi. Just once, game? Can you give me Guardian on somebody who will not be using an SMG? Just one time? It's really all I'm looking for. Face Off for a technical is actually pretty tempting. we could get some work out of that, I think. John Stewart, what do you got? Heat warheads and Guardian. Okay, well, you're never going to hit an Overwatch shot because you're an assault trooper, which means you're going to be shooting with a shotgun, which means most of your Overwatch is going to be somewhere in the 5% ratio. Dennis Leary? Those also... Well, you know what? Center mass is actually okay. We might ultimately want to give Dennis Leary center mass. That would help as a technical quite a bit. We also got Jimmy, not Johnny Fallon down here, and Aziz Ansari. Sarah Milliken, what did you have again? Damn it, damn. I kind of feel like Chris Rock is our go-to boy here, though, right? We give damn good ground to the Frosty Rock, then anytime he's got a little bit of a height elevation, just makes him that much more of an efficient killer. Also, it doesn't take 8,000 years for him to complete that training. I'm sold. I've convinced myself. Fortunately, I'm easily persuaded, so convincing myself of something is not typically terribly difficult. New staff available: Sean Harrington, Isabel Perez, Konstantin Chapernov. 33% of our income has gone to Faceless. Considering that we just killed 2 Faceless, I think that means that of the 3 New Haven personnel that we just picked up, 2 of the 3 were Faceless. So fantastic. Failed 2 guerrilla ops. Avatar progress got up by 2. They completed 2 dark events as well. We completed 4, contacted 1 region, and investigated 1 resistance rumor. We had a bad month, I guess. Advent scopes. I don't like at all because that gives Advent a better aim. So that's one we really, really desperately want to thwart. Like, Advent scopes would be top priority for the thwarting of the mission. We need to make sure that doesn't happen. We also need money to build a radio beacon here, so we're going to have to... Well, I was going to say we're going to have to hit that supply drop, but it don't look like we're going to get a shot. Because we got to send in... This is what, Jerry Seinfeld? What's the deal with sending the gopher in all by himself? Chicani Bicani is totally screwed, Pete. Yeah, she's pretty much fucked, because I don't really like the odds of her successfully covering an entire map with light to moderate resistance without getting spotted. Boosting infiltration here is pointless. That's just a waste of intel. We're going to fail this mission. Let's just get it out of the way. Sometimes you steps up and you take your lumps. Sometimes you're an aging Mike Tyson and they're like, hey, we want to put you in the ring with Lennox Lewis. And he's like, I don't know if I got the stuff anymore, but I really need the money. All right, I'll take the fight. And then, 90 seconds after the bell rings, you're lying on the canvas, the lips all swollen up and bloody, staring at the ceiling, trying to figure out what the hell just happened, where the hell you are, and why there's a man in your face shouting numbers at you. That's going to be this mission, by the way. The only thing we really care about is that Jerry Seinfeld does not get killed. That's our... We have one concern, and that's it. Jerry Seinfeld, don't die. That's all we're looking for. Anything that happens to your scientist, and I was going to say scientist friend, but she's not your friend, let's face it. Anything that happens to the scientist you're leading to their death is secondary. Primary concern, your safety. Scientist safety, I wouldn't even say it's necessarily a secondary concern. It might be more like a tertiary concern or something that's on our checklist as of note.
Menace 1-5, target coordinates incoming. Secure the VIP
okay.
and proceed to the evac volume for extraction.
We don't really have to go that far. My position isn't concealed. I very much beg to differ, Bradford, in that my position totally fucking concealed. Okay, so where's Advent? Don't see any. All right, well then, that is a good thing. Not seeing Advent, I like this. That's like 2 turns of sprinting for Jerry Seinfeld, but we still got to worry about this Chicani fellow. Can we call? I mean, we could call a lady a fellow, right? That's not uncool. Like, she's a good fella, even though she's definitely not a gentleman or of the male variety, or she doesn't have a penis. I'm assuming. You know what? I shouldn't make assumptions. Maybe she does. Do whatever you want, girl. I say, however you like to rock. You like to rock out with the cock out? Go for it. Whip it out. So we did not see any enemies, which should mean that the likelihood of enemies patrolling into us, at least on this turn, is relatively minimal. Oh, never mind. We're fucked. Well, Chicani, you're dead. Sorry. So much for your chances at survival. They have just gone from poor to 0. Sectoid, muton. And this is where a saddened Jerry Seinfeld turns around quietly, looks behind himself, and just whispers, "I'm sorry." Or in this case, because it's Jerry Seinfeld, he just turns around and whispers, "I'm so sorry." Because I don't think Jerry Seinfeld is actually capable of whispering. And then what does Jerry do? Oh, he abandons this woman to her death and continues running towards the exit zone. I'm tempted to ghost walk on this move.
I have eyes on the enemy.
Okay. So if we could get Chikani closer to the exit without activating that pod, that would be useful. Like, she should be able to get to here. She's not going to be safe. There's nothing we're ever going to do that is going to make her be capable of being safe. But she might, I mean, in full cover means a chance at survival, albeit a small one with probably a muton shooting at her. None of those guys can see Chikani from where she is either. That's her other advantage. Meanwhile, Jerry Seinfeld has already forgotten that she exists. Oh, okay. Sure, I got a shot in. She's probably going to get mind spun here. Oh, muton took a 50% shot to hit her through full cover. Well, Chikani, you've already bucked the odds and gotten far luckier than you had any right to get, but I'm pretty sure your luck is run out. Like, you're dead now. So again, our only concern is making sure that Jerry Seinfeld escapes unscathed, which is actually going to be more difficult than I would like, because the access to the rooftop here is not in a very convenient spot for us, and is completely and totally surrounded by roughly between 19 and 16 trillion dudes. So, yep, I guess we just run around to here. In theory, we are not spawning pods with this move, so we shouldn't activate anything extra. I mean, in theory, Gotcha 2 is telling us that move is safe. It also should take us out of line of sight of the active pods. Yep, they're closing in on Jerry Seinfeld, and I don't like it. Vipers are coming around. Yep, they're closing in on Jerry. Jerry Seinfeld is going to get spotted. Should have ghost walked. Oh, good. So Jerry Seinfeld's going to take like 9,500 reaction shots here because Itchy Trigger Tentacle is the stupidest shit of all time. So these guys spotted us, but they're still going to get reaction fire at us? Yeah, this is what we like to call hogwash and nonsense. Wow, only one of them got an Itchy Trigger Tentacle action. Okay. Well then, Jerry Seinfeld is going to say, "I'm sorry, Chikani, I'm so desperate. I'm so terribly sorry. There's nothing I could do. I don't have a square to spare." And then he's just going to, well, you know what? You might as well at least bear witness, right? I mean, we can at least, we can at least give Chikani the courtesy of giving her the, we're going to let her die like a war boy. Witness her. She didn't die like a war boy. Well, I guess, sorry, not even anyone is going to witness your triumph then, Chikani, because there's no fucking way in hell you live through 25,000 people shooting at you. It's not going to happen. We knew going in she was dead. We knew. Everybody knew. This is not a surprise to anyone. This mission was never going to work. Yep, there you go then.
Tell my kids
Status confirmed. Target is eliminated. Commander, we failed in our mission.
I don't really care, John Bradford. John, we went on that mission playing to lose because they gave us an evac mission with fucking 5 hours to complete it. Do you honestly think we were ever going to pull that off? No. We're actually not even going to continue trying to liberate Western Africa. Because it's just, at this point, Advent Strength there is too high, they're too vigilant. We're never, ever going to get that to work. Advent Strength, by the way, is not directly related to Advent's Vigilance. So, like, the amount of time that you have and the number of enemies are actually not determined by raw Advent Strength. There's some other hidden formula in there that actually you can't see or display and is complete mystery. Yet another mechanic in Pavonis Interactive's Long War 2 that is just completely concealed. There's shit going on behind the scenes that you can't understand or even fucking guess at, and no clues exist that it is in fact a thing that exists at all. It's like dark matter. The mechanics for this game are like dark matter. Be like, well, I suspect it may be out there, but there is no fucking visible way to actually observe or interact with it. Because by and large, dark matter just kind of exerts a uniform force across the breadth of the galaxy and doesn't give off any kind of electromagnetic wave or anything we can use to detect its presence. There's no way for us to actually observe it. That's why they call it dark matter. I'm gonna start calling them dark mechanics. The Long War II, it's all dark mechanics. Let's go up here and see if we can get a mission then that might, in theory, be actually achievable. Yes, I'm working on a supply drop. Thank you, though. New target is acquired. All right, well, let's take a look at it. 3 days, 6 hours to recover an item from an Advent vault and pick up 34 intel. You know what? This we can do. Pete, how you gonna do this? Well, we're gonna send Joe Brand in to be a one-woman show once again. She's gonna walk in there with no trouble and walk out. Sweeter than silk and twice as smooth. I don't want Second City. I want the Upright Citizens. No, I don't, actually. Where is Joe Brand? Joe? Ah, here you go. Yep. So, 3 days, 3 hours. Joe Brand. Turns out she's all we need. If we could get Conceal on the Gopher, we could also start doing this with Jerry Seinfeld. But the Gopher, despite having a gopher in his name, just refuses to burrow in and tunnel like a rat. He keeps failing mission after mission, Seinfeld. We're gonna have to actually send him on a mission probably at some point with Joe Brand just so she can demonstrate to him how the hell shit is actually supposed to be done. You sound a little salty, Pete. Yeah, it's because I'm actually quite salty. So there's our supply drop. We have picked up 95 supplies. We are not going to recruit new staff. We are going to go to the black market, however, liquidate a little inventory. We're kind of overstocked here at the XCOM project, and things are priced to move. So you're very interested in this hair trigger? Sold. Very interested in this PCS conditioning? I'm tempted. $5 for a drone wreck. No way are you getting my data pads. 8 for an officer corps. We have 16 trooper. You know what? We can spare these, and Advent is unlikely to ever be very interested in them. Let's take that down to 5. Faceless corpses. No, we'll be hanging on to those. Advent stun lancer mutons. We have 11 viper corpses as well. You know what? Yeah, we can spare some of these as well. Let's also go down to 5. Nah, you can't have any berserker corpses they may be interested in. We could get a windfall if we sold those. Not selling the lyrium cores. That PCS speed mod should be in someone's body right now. We also have Predator armor that we are not using. Well, we should also fix that. Scatter ray. I have 4 stocks, and honestly, the chances of me ever using these are basically 0, or at least using all 4 of them. Let's get rid of 2 of those as well. Done confirmed, and let's do a little window shopping. 144 supplies for an engineer. I hate to say this, but this is actually sort of tempting. I would love to buy an engineer, but supplies are the one that's the thing with Long Wars. You just can't get supplies. Long War II is like supplies. No, you don't have any ever. Also, for whatever reason, I cannot go back to the geoscape. Why not? Can I go back now? There we go. Okay, you know what? No, I was gonna make a comment there, but I'm just gonna let that one slide because you know what? It was gonna be kind of mean. So, proving ground. We have no one currently at work in the proving ground. What projects could we do? 3 engineers. Okay. Scopes, laser sights. Pete, you just sold a bunch of stocks that you could. Yeah, I could. Yeah, but did I want to waste 20 supplies on this? The answer is no. No, I didn't. Also, I'd like to point out suppressors. The one project here I might like to try. We have never found a suppressor. Not one. Not a single suppressor has ever been found. Didn't I just do a project that was supposed to get me upgrades for... Oh, I could probably just build those, right, though? Is that how that works? We can just go to engineering and build that shit? Like, specifically, I'm looking for, not vibro blades. Arc blade, 3 engineers. Advanced arc thrower, also 3 engineers. Beautiful. So now I'm at the point where even if I research mag weapons, I'm not going to be able to fucking build any because the RNG of this game will not give me a goddamned engineer. Well, Pete, you just have to buy an engineer. No, I really shouldn't have to buy an engineer. I really shouldn't. I feel like that's a little bit unfair. Why is it unfair that you buy an engineer, Pete? It's unfair because I also can't get supplies, and I need these supplies to not lose the game. I have to be building radio beacons and shit. This is the reason I can't afford to squander those supplies on something that I should be picking up for RNGs. I've had like 95 opportunities as a scientist, and I've been squandering them because I don't really care. Scientists at this point aren't speeding us up to a significant factor. I can afford to just say, you know what? I don't give a shit about a scientist. Let it go. I want to build a radio relay here, though. Well, there goes 150 of our supplies. Okay. I'm assuming that's also going to take, yep, it's going to take 3 days. That leaves us with how much intel? 166, which should be enough for us to begin making contact in Eastern Europe. I suppose we'll do that. We got to start expanding. Yeah, got a new target here. What do we got? Operation Heavy Dream. 33 intel and an intel package. Recover an item from an advent train. Find a lead. 6 days, 18 hours. What's our evac timer on this? Evac with flare should be 4 turns by default. We could maybe get that down to like 2. If we boosted this, which I think we might want to do. Sarah Milliken, you know, you may be actually going on this mission, but you're not going with... Well, I don't need the second city, first of all. I'm going to send anybody. It's going to be the Upright Citizens Brigade. I'm going to send in Kathleen Irish Madigan. Or I could send... I mean, we could send Jerry... You know what? Jerry Seinfeld and Bob Newhart. This might be a chance for Jerry Seinfeld to finally get the damn job done. We do have a data jack, or a whatever it's, skulljack, whatever it's called, and we do need to skulljack an officer, but I don't want to do that on this mission for one very specific reason. I don't want to fight. This is going to be a stealth mission. Get the thing, get the hell out of here. At 3 days, 14 hours, we would be just under 200% infiltrated, so we'd be looking at a 3-turn evac timer. Extremely light enemy resistance. I really like our chances of pulling this one off, so here's what we're going to do. Bob Angel Newhart. We're going to give you the... you know, you probably don't really need that smoke grenade, but I suppose it's not really hurting anything if we let you keep it. You have PCS defense. Okay, Jerry, you don't have a personal combat sim. Well, guess what? You're getting speed. Sorted. We should put that, you know, while I'm thinking of things, we should, here, you guys are done. Just go. Go forth, enjoy, have fun, do. Succeed for once, Jerry. Not since the syndication rights sold to Seinfeld have you really had like a world-smashing success. I think it's about time for you to be due, Jerry. You're due for another big win here. I'd like for this mission to be that win. Okay, so infiltration progressing nicely.
A number of interesting discoveries, Commander.
Interesting discoveries in robotic porn and fuckbots. Oh, good. Look, we learned a bunch of new things. Gremlin Mark II, which is huge. Breaking down mechs, breaking down turrets, skull mining, red screen rounds, battle scanners. Here's the problem with all of this shit. I guarantee we don't have enough engineers to do any of these projects. None. Because they're all going to require 3 engineers, and fine. I'll give you something else to research that we can't do. Sure. Here, you know what, Dr. Tigan, since... Why research mag weapons? We're not even going to be able to... Why spend the time? We're not going to be able to build them. Even if we spend the time, we can't build them because I can't get a freaking engineer. What about breaking down a turret? Have we done an autopsy on a turret? Advent turret breakdown. We should probably do all of our autopsies first. Let's just start on the turret breakdown. This will take 5 days. And while it won't sate Dr. Tigan's insatiable lust for destroying the corpses of fallen foes, you know what it will do? It'll keep him occupied for a little while. It'll keep him out of our hair. This is busy work for Dr. Tigan.
Which I expect Shen will want to thoroughly examine following the disassembly process.
Honestly, why isn't Lily doing this is really my question. This thing is a machine, Dr. Tigan. Why are you autopsying it? Can it even rightly be called an autopsy if you're dissecting anything that isn't a human, actually? Technically, I suppose it would be a vivisection if... Well, no, because then it would have to be alive. I suppose it's just a regular dissection if you're doing it to an alien, but you don't really dissect a machine. It's not normally how that verb works. You would disassemble a machine, or dismantle probably is actually the correct word. Hey, do you mind, Dr. Tigan? I don't care about your history. I don't care about your personal guilt and shame over the things that you've done for Advent. You know what I care about? The semantic argument that I'm having with myself right now. I'm more interested in that. I don't give a shit about you, Dr. Tigan, is the long and the short of it. This is what I'm getting at. I don't care about you, Dr. Tigan. I don't care.
Or unbridled curiosity that led me to blindly pursue my research.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the opposite of you, Dr. Tigan. I don't have that unbridled curiosity. I don't have that investigative zeal, as you like to call it. I don't give much of a shit about you or anything you are doing. Okay, so the annoyance is 100% infiltrated. They have 1 hour until we must launch. All right, well, this is going to be our next mission then. It'll be Joe Brand doing a triumphant turkey trot, waltzing her way to victory in what's going to be another, I feel like, pretty easy slam dunk. I'm honestly looking forward to that one. A very advanced shinobi doing stealth missions. It's like the one part of Long War II that doesn't suck, which I'm assuming means in patch 1.3 they will nerf the holy screaming fuck out of single shinobi infiltrations. Why did I pause the game? I don't just sit here. You guys want to stare at a pause screen?
Commander?
Maybe I paused it because I'm hoping to delay Pavonis' inevitable nerf of shinobis, because they're gonna nerf the ever-loving screaming shit out of them. I guarantee it. They're gonna get nerfed into the toilet. The stealth mission mechanic will just be like a thing that doesn't work anymore, and then there will be nothing at all left that isn't a bitter misery in Long War II, because that's the way Pavonis thinks the game is fun. They're marketing to a niche market, but the thing that I'm worried about is these are the true diehards. Are there really a sustainable number of customers for you to market your product this way? Like people who are willing to spend 1,000 hours learning how to play your game? Do you really think that's going to be the best investment model? People who have 1,000 hours to spend trying to learn the mechanics of one video game so they can play it? I don't want to question your business model, but I think you maybe better take it back to the fundamental principles, completely re-examine it, and start over from scratch. My recommendation. I'm recommending for me personally, though, that I stop talking about Pavonis. If you enjoyed this one, feel free to drop a like down in the comment section. Support really does mean a lot. If you'd like to see whether I'm right or wrong with regard to Pavonis Interactive, you might consider subscribing as well. New episodes of XCOM posted every single day for now. Right now, though. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you again soon.